record. Okay, I think we're in luck now. Okay, goody goody goody. Okay, this play of This War of Mine Final Cut. I'm going to start a new game. I just finished a successful survival, which... Huh, it's not even on here. Oh, there, no. Yeah, it was Marco's survival. Did a solo guy. Alright, let's try playing... Roman's nice because he's a soldier. I love playing with Boris, though, because he's a pack mule. Anybody else on here with Boris? No. How about this? Let's just do a random game. Let's see what comes up. Oh, I love this game. Okay, I have my maximum recording length set to 2 hours. Hopefully I'm just going to go through a few days on here and it won't take that long, since this is just a test run and I want to see how it looks and sounds. This is This War of Mine. This is our little home. Uh-oh, I have a child in the house. Oh, this is going to be rough. The Civil War in Groznovia has been raging for a few years now. The last stronghold of the rebel forces is under siege by the government military. Countless civilians are stranded in the city. Food and vital resources are running out, and every day is a struggle for survival. Christo and his daughter Iskra were driven from their home by soldiers. In search of a place to stay, they chanced upon an abandoned building and decided to make it their temporary home. I have no idea how long this game is going to last. It could go as many as 40 days. It could be 20 days. Oh, there's not much here I can do. The radio station's not going to be functional in this playthrough, but you can examine it. Play a little game with daughter. While they're doing that, I'm going to check out the rest of this house. Oh, this is so weird playing in windowed mode. I gotta be a little more careful with my scrolls around the screen. Ah, there's so much debris we gotta get rid of. Well, let's take a look at their bios while I'm at it here. So Iskra. Hello, my name is Iskra. My mom is visiting my grandma, so my dad looks after me now. We will meet again when the soldiers go away. Dad says that they go away when other countries send us help. I hope it's soon. I miss Mom. I miss my friends. I miss my room, TV, and ice cream. Did you know we had to live in the basement? Dad said it was safer like that. Can I look around here? I'm going to have her start salvaging some stuff. The determined father, Christo. We used to live not far from here. When the first shelling started, we moved into the basement for safety. We tried to make it as comfortable as possible, but it was still cold, dark, and damp. There were also rats. Iskra is afraid of them, but I told her that she had to be strong. She spent most of the time in that basement, while I went out each day to get some supplies. I'm not exactly sure what abstinent is on here. I'm pretty sure it means he does not partake in things like drinking and smoking, but I have no other... Maybe he's just resilient to being let down, because there is a depression factor in this game. If things start going bad, you tend to get depressed, and if you get depressed, you won't do tasks very well, and eventually if you get too depressed, you'll do something more severe, like offing yourself, and that would be bad if you're a father. So being abstinent might be what that's about. The children in this game can't do a whole lot until they're taught how to do it. Now, they can salvage and play games, but that's about it. So I'm sending her on salvage runs. He, on the other hand, I need to get him some stuff. Okay. The only thing she can do is loot. It takes a long time to dig through those giant rubble piles. Hopefully I'll get enough stuff that we can can build a shovel. In order to build a shovel, we need the tool, the ability to build tools, and we don't have that yet. So it's important that we salvage anything and everything we can in our house. Okay, she can do that too. I don't think she can pick a lock. I know she can't break through doors. I know she can't dig through rubble. It takes forever digging through piles if you don't have a shovel. And that's pretty much all she can do until these piles are removed. Oh, this sucks only having one adult. Just not have enough resources yet. Okay, here's our things. This is all the stuff that's in our house. We have a lockpick. We have 28 components. I should point out that this game is using a few mods. There's a mod on here that allows the characters to carry a little more gear and stacks. This isn't carried. This particular thing is just the household inventory of everything we've got at our disposal. And there's a few other ones that give us some new recipes. So this is not the actual default game. I'll probably have to do a playthrough with that sometime. Anyway, we have 9 pieces of wood, 3 parts, and 2 electronic parts. We also have 1 book, which is useful for keeping us from getting too down in the dumps, and 5 consumables. This is the stuff we burn for heat and burn for cooking. And this over here shows us what our overall status is in our house. Our shelter offers a bit of reprieve from the horrors of war. We lack chairs, and we could use an armchair. We lack beds, and we have to sleep on the floor. It's hard to get a good night's sleep on a hard, cold concrete, and the condition of those who are sick or wounded may drastically worsen. We don't have a radio. We don't know what's going because we don't have a radio. We don't know what's going on in the city. We really miss books because we only have 1. A good book could help us forget the horrors of war. Staying here is better than living in a complete ruin. That's a basic, this is like one step above being homeless. We have breaches in the walls, which we need to fix. Our shelter is not safe, and we have to constantly be on guard. Otherwise, we'll suffer worse on nighttime raids. Could be better, but at least the child is doing okay. So anytime you want to know how the overall status of your house is, this is what it'll tell you. If you have people in your house who are smokers or drink coffee, it'll say how many cups of coffee you're drinking per day and how many cigarettes you're smoking per day. Those are things that help improve the mood of the people who have those particular addictions. These 2 don't have any addictions, so we don't have to worry about coffee or smoking, at least until somebody else joins us. It's already noon. At 8 o'clock it turns to night, so we have to get everything done before 8 o'clock. I also have the game set on Fahrenheit because I can't read Celsius temperatures. I don't know what cold is. If this number, as long as it's above 50, we're okay. If it falls below 50, you start getting cold and people will start getting sick. Alright, I gotta see what I can craft. I'll have to lockpick something too, probably. I want to try it on full screen, but I'm afraid it'll stop my recording. Good, okay. Build a metal workshop. Put it right next to this one. This particular device lets us build furniture or furnishings. All of our workstations, all of our... it'll let us build beds, it'll let us build our stove, which right now we don't have a stove, we don't have a heater, we don't have water collection. There's so many things we need to build, and this is the main thing that we're going to use to do that. The thing I'm building now is your metal workshop. This is where you build tools. All of your tools and weapons will get built here. This is the most basic version, so all we can build is a crowbar, a lockpick, a shovel, and a knife, which we don't have the materials for. And over here it shows you the materials that you need in order to craft it, and anything that's deficient will be red. Right now, all I will need to do is build a shovel. Actually needed one of us with sick right now or hungry. I'm busy, honey. You're going to have to go somewhere else. She's going to get down in the dumps if she doesn't keep occupied. Luckily, there's a few default games she can play. She can jump around on this thing, and she can go basically do chalk things on the wall back there. That you can build. If you have a child in your house, you can build a number of things for her to do. You can hang a swing from a ceiling. You can give her a ball to play with. There's all sorts of things you can build to entertain your children. Children can't go on guard duty, and they can't salvage, and they can't do most of the tasks here until they're taught how to do them. So and they still need to eat. So they drain resources, and they're not that useful. It's kind of a detriment. Okay, well, this is good. We got ourselves bandages, which we use to heal injuries. We have medicine, which we use when we're sick. And we got some raw food. That's awesome. Okay. Let's see, what else can I do here? Let's remove this pile. See how much faster it is? Shovels are great. But of course, once you have all the rubble removed, they're less useful. Thankfully, a lot of locations out in the city have piles of rubble you also have to dig through. So you will get use out of it salvaging, on making salvage runs. Good stuff. Building materials. More building materials. It's also 7 o'clock. At 8 o'clock, we're going to go to nighttime. We usually, almost always, don't get raided on the first night, so I will venture out and risk, the daughter getting hurt if we get raided. But, you gotta make, I don't want to say you gotta make a sacrifice, but most nights I'm not going to risk it. Oh, you tool. I'm not going to get there. Not going to get there. It's too late. Okay, so here is basically the start of the night phase. This is where you decide what your scavengers are going to do. As you can see, I can't do anything with her except tell her to sleep, and because I didn't build a bed, she's going to sleep on the floor. That's going to make her kind of cranky, and it could make her sick. Christo, on the other hand, I'm going to send him out on a scavenging run. This is where our house is on the city map, and these are the different locations that are currently available to us. As the game progresses, more locations will become available. Some of them will be disabled because there's either fighting in that area or the snow comes in and they're inaccessible because of snow. So right now we have a choice of 3 kind of interesting locations. The ghost house is good because I haven't been to the ghost house yet where there was an enemy presence. So the ghost house says a man who lived there used to give shelter to people in need. He either died or fled after his home had been ravaged by mortar fire. Since then, the house stands abandoned, and the neighborhood kids say that it's haunted. The ruined villa, they say that some people still live there. Against all odds, they must have some supplies stocked, like canned food and possibly bandages or medicine, but they don't want to trade. If we're desperate, we could try to steal from them. Stealing stuff from basically innocent people has a negative reaction. You will, depending on what character you are, you could feel pains of guilt. People who are kind of more selfish don't really care. It doesn't affect them much. But the people who are very empathetic start to really feel down in the dumps if they're forced to kill innocent people, or if they're forced to steal from them, or they turn them away, not helping them. So stealing from basically innocent people is really only recommended as a last desperate act. Like if we were out of medicine, out of food, this was the only place we could salvage, we're just going to have to force our way. There are old people that are living there. They're not going to be able to stop you from taking their stuff. I've done it before, but it's got a negative consequence. Then there's the semi-detached house. half of it's in ruin, but there's people living in the other half. They don't seem to be friendly. At night you can sometimes hear shots fired from there. We could probably scour the abandoned part for supplies and manage to sneak past the inhabited part. Again, this is a risk. Going there would be a risk. It sounds like part of the house is relatively safe to salvage, and if I had a decent weapon, a hatchet or something that I could use as a weapon, I might try to challenge them, but right now we're in kind of bad shape, and I don't want to... If he gets hurt, we are really in bad shape. So I'm going to take the safest route and go to the ghost house. Here's the prep screen. So where you get to decide what you want to take with you. As you can see, he's only got 12 spaces, which is not very good. Especially because he's got to take some tools with him to remove rubble, if there is rubble. And of course, if there isn't, then I wasted a space by taking the shovel. There's a lot of other tools in this game. If I had lockpicks built, I'd have to account for that. If I had a hatchet, I'd have to account for that. If I had a saw, I'd have to account for that. Meanwhile, I'm going to go out there and try to find more of this stuff, more building stuff. Components are used for literally everything in the house, with the exception of like food. You use them in some cases making medicine, but you use it for building literally everything that you build. Other stuff, like parts, this is like mechanical parts, they get used for some things, but there's not near as much of a demand for it. Wood, likewise, it gets used for building like the various workstations, but it doesn't get used in a lot of other things. And electronic parts are really only used for a few specialized items. It's incredibly important to get electrical parts, and they're not easy to find. Of the things in the materials section, this is probably the hardest thing to find out in the world. Luckily, you don't need a lot of them to build the stuff you need, but finding that's pretty good. Anyway, I don't have any other tools to take. You can't actually use healing items while that's in your inventory. You can only use them when you're back at your house. So, you know, the thought of, oh, I'll take medicine along or in case I get sick, that's just not necessary. Now we're going to the salvage. This is the house. It's deserted. I don't expect to meet anyone. Sneaking around, sneaky, sneak, sneak. You don't have a choice to not sneak. You can either run really fast or you can sneak. Basically, that's all I'm doing. I'm not going to waste my time taking ammo because you can't use it right now anyway. That's black powder, I think. Gunpowder. Rats. The little red circles are sounds you hear, but you can't see what it is. Could be a person standing there, but because they said this house was abandoned, it's most likely just rats. Jackpot. Okay. Raw food, vegetables, that's highly valuable. Water, highly valuable. The rest of this I can leave it. I'll come back for it some other time. Right now, because I can only carry such a limited amount of stuff, you really have to prioritize. You only want to take the stuff back that you can use right now. Anything that's for like down the road, leave it. You can come back and get it later. I liked having this because fertilizer is great for making stuff and you can use it for rat traps, but we're not ready to build a rat trap yet, so I'm also not ready for seeds. And we can't carry much more. He is not the best survivor. Little point of interest. Dear Sabira, just when I managed to reach this country, we thought it would be safe. It too was plunged into war. Don't worry though, I'm fine. I write this letter waiting for a man who can smuggle me to safety in his boat. I will then apply for asylum, and as soon as I get it, I'll bring you here. And we'll be together again, away from the war and misery. Hang on and pray for me. Kofi. So this game takes place in a fictitious Eastern European country that's undergoing a civil war. It's supposed to, kind of simulate the things that these innocent civilians have to do when there's a soldier faction representing the old guard and a revolutionary faction who's trying to change the country. Neither one of them are right, neither one of them are wrong. The whole point of the game is that you're stuck in the middle as just a lowly civilian. if you ever encounter the rebels or the soldiers, you're going to be at a severe disadvantage. They're going to have automatic weapons. You're going to basically be out there throwing stones at them. Even if you have guns, you're not going to be as well equipped as they are. So for the most part, you want to avoid any contact with other people, especially soldiers, rebels, and bandits. I don't know if they're called bandits, but they're like marauders, gangs. If you want to call them gangs, I guess that would probably be more appropriate. Because they're just out there to terrorize people and steal stuff. Now you're not stealing stuff, you're salvaging. You're getting stuff out of abandoned buildings. Now here's a decision I need to make. I got one slot here that's got raw food in it. I could leave that here and get 4 more, probably 6 more wood from upstairs, or I can try to get a few more components. It's probably half a dozen of one, 6 of the other. I won't worry about it. So, I can't get through here because I don't have a saw. I can't get up there because I don't have a lockpick or a pry bar. Otherwise, I'd be able to get into the rooms up there. So this is all I can reach right now. So I'm basically done. If you don't get out of the house before 5 a.m., you're going to be stuck having to walk home in daylight. In this game, the reason why you're at your house all day is because it's too dangerous to be out on the streets. There's snipers, there's gangs, there's the soldiers driving around in their tanks, and people are not supposed to be outside, and if they see you, they're going to think you're a looter or that you're somehow the enemy, and you're going to get shot. That's why you're basically stuck in your house all day, and the only time you can go out to salvage and get stuff is in the middle of the night, which is why it's 3 a.m. or 1 a.m. After midnight, I should say, and we're here salvaging this ruin of a house. If you're still here at 5 o'clock, when 5 o'clock comes, then you're having to go home in daylight, and there's a chance that you could get hurt on the way home, or at the very least, you're going to be delayed. As long as you go home before 5 o'clock and you make it to the exit before 5 o'clock, then you're going to make it home in plenty of time, and everything will be honky-dory. Wasn't much here. There's a lot of stuff here, but you need tools. So we start day 2. We need to get some beds built, or at least one bed. We can actually share a bed. She's going to welcome me back. We're still well above 60 degrees, so we're fine for temperature. Oh, are you going to talk or not? Yeah, she's hungry. We gotta get a stove built. Okay. Hopefully I have enough materials that I'm able to build both a stove and a bed, because those are our 2 highest priorities today. Salvage more. If we don't have enough materials, we should still have some in our house. We just gotta get it. Perfect. Okay. So first thing we're going to do is build a stove. A crude stove. We're going to want to improve it as quickly as possible. Put the stove in the kitchen. You can basically put it anywhere, but, thematically I like to put the stove in the kitchen if I can. I like to put the bed in these upstairs rooms up here. Some houses it's actually more convenient to put your beds on the same level with all your other stuff, but in this house, it's a lot of small rooms. You can only put so many things in these rooms. They don't let you just place stuff willy-nilly anywhere you want. You can't place anything on these landings where there's stairs. Okay, so now I can build some... Oh, perfect. Cooked food. This will be more than enough. This will get us through today. She'll be full for tomorrow. Okay, he can go ahead and eat. And she can eat. Eventually I'll want to show her how to cook. Someone's at her door. Okay, he's going to give us some stuff. I'm going to quick make a bed and put it there, but I'm not going to craft it yet. So it's just waiting to be built. Now she'll be full. Open the door. This guy's going to give us some stuff. I have some food to spare. We have to help each other, especially in times like these. I had some trees in the garden, but it's getting colder every day, so I decided to cut them for firewood. Great. before anyone else would. I'd like to. I can share some with you. Share some of it with you. Maybe next time you'll help me out, eh? So he's given us 20 pieces of wood. Great. More stuff I can use to craft other stuff. Let's see if I can improve this building. Or this workstation. I don't think I can, but sweet, we can. So we're going to make an improved workshop. Will let us build better stuff, more stuff. Probably should have improved my stove first, but I don't think I can improve it without a component that is in the improved version of this. You also notice since he went out last night, he's tired. He really needs some sleep. We're almost at noon, so I'm not going to get a chance to do a whole lot with this workstation, but we'll take a look. So this is the stuff we can do with the improved workstation. This is great. So now we can build an armchair. We can also board up. This is very important. This helps us with defense. We have 3 locations in our house that are kind of exposed to the elements, and it makes us vulnerable. If we board it up, it's going to make harder for raiders to attack us at night. So we won't get. If they do, we'll be better defended. And once we have all those filled up, we'll get the option to build a reinforced door, but that's going to require, I think, the next level of workshop. We can build a chair. We can build a heater, which we will need to do before it gets to winter. Then we will want to build a radio because it's for happiness. A swing is one of the things that we can build so the child can have some fun. We got the herbal workshop as well as the herbal garden. Both of those can be built. The moonshine still will let you build moonshine. If we get the next level, we'll have the ability to build the pure, I don't know what it's called, pure alcohol still. It basically turns moonshine into 100% alcohol, which you can use to purify bandages and stuff like that. Trap for small animals. You can build 2 of these in your house. I did not know you were limited to 2, but in the last game I had 2 built and it would never let me build the 3rd one. I swore I'd been able to build 3 of these before, but maybe I was using a mod. And then rainwater collector is another very important one because fresh water is so hard to come by and you need it to cook your food in. So this is one of the few ways that you have to generate resources in your house, but it does take time to do it. Right now I'm not going to worry about that. Let's see if I can upgrade this. I can. Good. We're going to make an improved stove. Luckily the stove only has 1 level of upgrade, and once you've upgraded it, it's more efficient. You won't use as many pieces of wood to cook. You won't use as much water. I don't know about water. I'm just guessing. It's just more efficient and gives you some new recipes. Yeah, she's probably not real happy, but she's well fed. All right, he's got to sleep. All right, she, on the other hand, can get some looting for us. Make sure he slept. Oh, we still got to build the dumb bed. Oh, I forgot about that. Okay, more stuff. And more stuff. Now she can't really do anything else, so he's going to go ahead and sleep. Sleep away the rest of the afternoon. Since I've been playing this recently, I've come up with a few little strategies that I use. Basically, I teach your child, you teach her how to cook so she can make her own meals so other people don't have to prep her meals for her. And I always teach her how to, I teach her how to do the rainwater collection. You'll teach her how to build filters and then teach her how to put the filter in the rainwater collector. So basically that's like her daily chore is to make sure we have water in the house. The other thing I teach her how to do is change the rat traps. So she's able to go down there, because I usually put them in the basement. It's one of these time things. You put a little bit of food in there in the trap in order to catch a rat, which you can then used for food. So it's a way of turning one raw food into 2 raw food, basically. Anybody else can do it. It's a simple task, so I like teaching the children to do it too. Oh, good. He's already awake. I thought it was going to take him longer. Okay. No, let's do this. There we go. Got enough time. I can do a little more salvage. I don't think I'm going to go out salvaging tonight because I don't want to risk getting a raid. If we get a raid, I want to make sure I am able to defend myself, which probably means I should build a weapon. Canned food, yay. Okay. I gotta get a knife or something built. If I would have had more time, I probably would have boxed up. Oh, I can't build a weapon. Okay, let's build a crowbar. The shovel is a makeshift weapon too, so it's not the end of the world. It's not a good weapon, but it's good if you don't have anything else. It's better than your fists. But as you notice, there's only a few more spots I can salvage left in the house. That's why eventually you're just going to run out of opportunities to salvage in your home. Alright, 8 o'clock. It's going to be a fast night because I'm not going to go on a salvage run. So he's going to go on guard duty, which means he will stay up all night. He'll be very tired, or he'll be tired in the morning, so then he'll need to sleep. Now she can sleep in the bed, so she'll have a good night's sleep. She won't have a problem then, and we're just going to stay. 2 new locations, though, on the map. We have the shelled school. The school has been shelled several times. Unfortunately, most of the cellars have collapsed, so it might be a good idea to bring a shovel and maybe some other tools. They say some homeless people have taken refuge inside the building. It's a pretty good place to salvage. The homeless people are pretty benign. They don't really do a whole lot. There is an area where you can steal their food, and it's kind of negative to take them, but it's there if you're desperate. St. Mary's Church. There's 2 different versions of St. Mary's Church. There's the one that has the Father in it, and there's the one where soldiers are there. St. Mary's Church is still a place of meeting for the local community. Okay, so this is the good one. Priest Aulick is known for his charitable work and offering refuge to the poor. He might have something to give away and trade. The vestry behind the church is devastated and abandoned. We could find some useful materials there. It is an awesome, awesome place to salvage, even if part of the church area is basically with protected people. If you take stuff from there, it'll basically be treated as stealing, and they'll turn hostile. But there's still a ton of good salvage there, so that'll be a good place to go. Oh well, we're staying. Day 3. Okay, we're just over a half hour into this. So we did get raided last night. But they didn't seem very determined, and we managed to fend them off. Thankfully, we were all armed. We had a tool. None of us were wounded, and the attackers didn't steal anything. Eventually, you're going to get to a point where they will. Even if you fended them off, they'll still take some food and some water. They'll take little stuff from you. They'll take some, or worse, when you do fend them off and you have guns, it's going to burn through your ammo slowly, but it'll burn through your ammo. So it's important to, if you have a gun, to make sure you have plenty of bullets. We were able to defend ourselves. So, okay. I'm scared. I don't want these bad people to come here again. Can you stop them from coming again? And Christo is hungry and he's tired. We gotta do a little emotional support here. Look, Daddy, it's the biggest bug on Earth. I love that one. So, she's not hungry or tired, so she can just basically play all day. But I think in order to make this work out for me, I'm going to go ahead and dig this pile away. And while he's doing that, after he gets done with that, I'm going to send him to bed. And then she can loot these last 2 spots over here. I think that's it, right? Yep. Oh, there is one locked cabinet over there that needs to be salvaged yet, but that can wait. Ooh, got a diamond. Some jewelry. That's good for trade. Has absolutely no function other than trading. Okay. On my luck, the stupid trader. Ugh. Yes, somebody's coming. Okay, so... some more people trying to give us stuff. Well, I'll always take stuff. As long as I don't have to leave my house. We live several blocks from here. We saw that you took refuge in this building, and since we're supposed to be neighbors, we decided to pay you a visit and say hello. We brought you some vegetables from our garden. Enjoy. 5 vegetables. That is outstanding. That is outstanding. Okay, now you can go back to bed. Unfortunately, she has absolutely nothing to do because I'm pretty sure she can't open up the thing. So we got 2 choices. We can play on the box. Oh, hopscotch. Children were not in the original version of the game. They were added later in one of the DLCs. It's a pretty grisly game, so the decision to put children in this was, well, the designers of this game really wanted to bring light to the struggles kind of in their neck of the woods. I don't remember if they're Polish or Croatian. I don't know. They're an Eastern European design team. I think they were Polish, but I'm not positive. Maybe Czech. I don't remember. Anyway, they were trying to draw attention to, the people that are in these countries and that have gone through these kinds of wars. And so, the board game based on this video game is outstanding too. It's a really heavy game, and it's actually darker than this. Oh, he's hungry. He's done sleeping. He doesn't take long to sleep. Maybe that's what his ability does. He bounces back really fast. Because most of the time when you're tired, it's going to take a good 5 or 6 hours for you to get rested up. And he seems to get rested up in 3. Okay, so he's eaten. What do we want to build? Patch some holes while we have all this wood. This is one of our areas, one of our weak spots. The forced perspective in this game is one of the most incredible graphics. I just love it. You can just look down the streets. You can see the war-torn countryside. And it gives depth to all these rooms, because this is basically a 2D game with a 3-dimensional environment. And I just absolutely love it. Okay, let's see if we can build some tools. Try to upgrade this thing. We still have enough time to build it and improve it. No, we can't. And we can't build any tools because we're out of components. We got plenty of wood though, so I'm going to patch another hole. This one up above? Nope, it's downstairs. This area here is a big weak spot there where they can get in. Yeah, check out this devastation. There's a body coming out of that window. I just saw this the other day. Plenty of wood over here if you want to salvage some wood. I don't know why they're not using all that wood. 6 o'clock. We're doing good. Got 2 of our holes filled. What do we have left for wood? Plenty. I can fill another hole if I have enough time to build it. It's going to be tight. I don't think we're going to have enough time. It will make a huge difference, though, in our defense. Okay, we have an hour. This is the third hole up here. 30 minutes to build it. I don't think it's going to happen, but at least it started. Again, I just don't want to go out. I don't want to get her hurt. So we're going to stay here for another night. Past the 40-minute mark. So I guess that means we're going about 10 minutes a day. Well, actually, this is day 4. Night was calm, so nobody raided us anyway. Okay. He's still there. Sweet. Get over there. Get over there. Finish that up. We'll be ready to go out and salvage tomorrow. Got a couple of things I want to do here. Boom. Hole fixed. So we fixed all 3 holes. So check this out. We lack chairs. We could use an armchair. We do have 1 bed, but we could use more. It's hard to get a good night's sleep on hard, blah, blah, blah. We have a few books. Staying here offers a slight respite. All breaches in our walls have been boarded up. We should be able to repel minor attacks even if we are caught sleeping. So that's fantastic. The only have 1 level of security on top of this, and that's putting in a reinforced door. So much for that. I could really use a trader. If a trader shows up today, fantastic. We need the resources since we haven't been out salvaging for 2 nights. Good stuff. Let's break this open too. Not that it matters, we can always go around it, but just one less thing to deal with. Okay, he's tired and hungry. I'm not going to mess around with sleeping because I'm still afraid somebody's going to show up at 9 o'clock. They always come at 9, or usually come at 9. Okay, make 2 things of food. Consume some more of our precious resources. I should mention kind of what's going on here. Over here is our medicine. This is our herbal meds, these are your bandages, and these are your pills. In the kitchen area, or wherever you build your... Well, actually, the kitchen area is always the kitchen area. It'll show what you have for vegetables, raw food, which you get more out of if you combine it with water and cook it. Canned food, which doesn't really matter the infinite life. You know, it's the best food, but it doesn't taste real good. And then you have alcohol, which you can consume. Oh, you should see what happens when they get drunk. They're more or less worthless. But if you're really, really depressed, that might be your only respite. So everybody's fed. Doesn't look like we're going to have anybody come today, so... I really wish I could build my water collector. Let's build a radio while we're here. Can't put it in there. It's a dead room. Now I'll put it down here. There are mods that increase the number of songs that are in the game, and it's okay. You're gonna get real sick of listening to the music on this, but people like having a radio in the house. It informs them about what's going on in the city. It gives them a weather forecast, and it kind of lets them know like what may be coming down the pack. Is there a peace accord on the horizon, or are the prices of certain goods going up? What's good to trade? That kind of thing. So you only have a few stations. This is the weather one. It always tells you kind of... See, right now the upcoming days should still be nice and warm, perfect to stroll in the park. There's 2 music stations, one playing classical music, which is much easier on the ears. Another station mentions shortages of prices of cigarettes and tobacco. Another station kind of gives you what's going on in the city, shelling, people who died, and the rock station. Some of the songs they play are fine, but some of them get real annoying, so I generally leave it on classical because it's just easy listening. Alright, he's tired. She's well fed. I don't really like this place, but it's better than our basement. It was dark and damp in there, and there were rats living there. I hope there are no rats here. I'm afraid of rats. They're icky. They climb over you when you sleep, and they can bite you. He hasn't had any updates. He's not a chatty guy. Kind of looks like Sean Locke from the British comedy who died last year. Let's see how long it takes him to sleep. Because I swear his sleep cycle is really short. Went to bed just before 1 p.m. Yeah, we are pretty much out of materials. We need more materials so we can keep building stuff. Got plenty of food. Got a lot of food. Thanks to that guy bringing a bunch of vegetables. But that doesn't mean we get complacent, because if somebody raids us, all of a sudden half our food could be gone. O'clock. Still sleeping. That's 2 hours he's been in bed. He got up after 2 hours. That is freakish. Okay, to improve this to an advanced workshop, we need to have these components that we don't have. To build the improved metal workshop, we need more materials. So not a lot to choose from for building. Can't build anything. So let's just wait till the end of the day. Well, they haven't raided in the last 2 nights. You know dang well they're going to raid tonight. But I can't stay here forever. I'm going to go out and scavenge. I'm going to head to the church. I don't really want to take any of our food. I may not even trade with him, which is the thing. I might just keep my diamonds. Okay, we're going to head out with the pry bar and the shovel. He used to come here when he was a child with his parents. Materials. So this is the old church. That's fine. Usually you like to come back with a lot of really good stuff like food and medicine and, you know, maybe some complete guns. But this early in the game, you're really just trying to get as many building materials as you can. Because you need to build stuff. It's not worth as much, but you really need it in order to build stuff. Oh, get off your butt, dude. Scare this guy. Oop. Nothing. No, we don't have a saw, so I can't do anything there. He's just warning me not to go over here, basically. Alright, so this is what he's got to trade. Just to give you an indication. Lots of books, he's got some ammo, he's got some moonshine and alcohol both. Lots of building materials or components. Some medicine, bandages, coffee, some kind of cruddy cigarettes. These are roll-up cigarettes. Their roll-up cigarette is made from herbs. It reeks acrid, bitter smoke. It's the worst of the cigarettes in this game. And then there's regular tobacco, which is better than the homegrown stuff. but I don't really have anything to trade with him, so trading isn't really what I'm doing this time through. I need a saw. Once I get a saw, I can get into there, but that's fine. Over here, there's a cat. Here, Mark. There's a mark on the wall and a few words. Here lies Roxy, the best dog in the world. Somebody buried their dog at the church. Now let's see if there's anybody in this building. There isn't, but I can't get in there because it's blocked from the other side. So we gotta find another way. Climb up here, open the door. Somebody's bathroom. So there's nobody in this house. This is all just salvageable goodness. Because we bought a shovel, we don't have to sift through these piles with our bare hands, which will take hours. Different survivors have different backpack sizes. You'll notice he's got a pretty good back size with 12. 14, I think there's a few people that have 14, and Boris has 17. He is a pack horse. He can carry just a boatload of stuff. He's got the biggest inventory in the game. The trade-off is he's really slow. He's got bad legs. So he's powerful, but he's slow. Grab all of that. We're at the 51-minute mark right now, so I think I'm going to finish this run. And when I go, the game auto-saves at the beginning of every day, so after your salvage run, I'll probably get that save point, and then I'll quit and see how the video looks. Nope, can't get in there. Can't get up the stairs because there's crap blocking it. There's an exit, so I don't have to go all the way back to the other side. Hey, there's a guy here. He's just looking around. Just another salvage guy just like you. Nothing worth taking. Let's unboard this so then we can walk through it when we come back next time. It's after midnight, so I still got a few more hours. Whoops. Still got a few more hours. There's so much good salvage in here. As a whole. The best locations in the game are ones that don't have enemies that you can return to for 2 or 3 nights and bring home good stuff. These places don't respawn, so once it's cleared of stuff, it's always going to be clear of stuff and you're never going to need to go back there. But if there's a lot of stuff here, you can come back night after night after night. See, I don't really need either one of these. I really don't need this either, so I'm going to put that back. And this stuff will be here when you come back. Basically, you're just squirreling it away for later. As long as you kind of keep, you can either write it down or keep tabs in your head of, you can, like the church, what did you leave, or like, oh, I need a saw, I need shovels, I need, kind of let yourself know what you need when you go on a salvage run there. When I come back, I'm going to have to bring a shovel because there's still piles I have to dig through, and I need a saw. I haven't built a saw yet, so this is fantastic. This is good stuff. For this point in the game, that's fantastic. Yeah, I mentioned the mods. In the unmodded version of this game, you'd be restricted to a 2-stack of wood, which sucks. With this mod, it increases the stack size without breaking the game. Components, I think, are maxed at 8. This puts it at 10. Wood is maxed at 2. With the mod, it's 6. It just increases it a little bit, so you don't have to make so many return trips, because it sucks bringing back 2 wood, 2 wood, 2 wood, 2 wood. I can get all that right there. It just makes it a little easier, a little less. It's just a, quality of life type of thing. Okay. I don't even need the saw because I can dig through it from this side. In the other variant of this particular location, a raider is in the church, and the house is filled with neutrals who, they don't want you there, they don't trade with you, but they got a lot of good stuff. But in that version, you really do need to use the underground router, otherwise you're going to take a chance of getting shot. Okay, now here's the other big crux. Wood, in general, isn't as important as components. You use components to build everything. Wood is a little less valuable. You need it, you just don't need as much of it. There's no such thing as having too many components, because you can always consume components to build stuff. But wood eventually gets, aside from turning it into kindling, wood eventually reaches a point where it's not as valuable. Components hold their value through the whole game. Although you may have 80 or 100 in your supply and you maybe don't need it as much, this is going to let me build several things. And we're done. My bags are full, I can't carry any more, right? I can carry more electronic components, but there aren't any. Oh, whoa. Did I already search this? I must have. Oh, yeah. This had the drugs and stuff. No, it just had the fertilizer. That's fine. Sometimes I forget what I've salvaged before. I love places that have rear exits, because it means you don't have to go all the way back to the beginning of the map to leave. 56 minutes. Okay, so this is where I'm going to stop this recording. Day 5. We'll see if we get raided. When you reload, raids can sometimes go away. And if it's not, you didn't get raided, it might happen. So, see, we had a calm night. Now, when I start this next day, when I restart this game, I come back and we may be raided, but that's just the risk you take. So anyway, escape, leave, save the game. Okay, that's my first playthrough recording of this war of mine. I'm going to go and look at the video and see what it looks like and figure out if I can post it on Facebook. Thanks, guys.